crypto warriors, changing our world day by day. The way of the crypto warriors, can't rely on the bankers, no way.
Good morning, Bix Weir, roadroot.com with your morning horn of Z's, your sip of chaga coffee. Oh, things are shaping up in the world of the woo-woo world. A lot of people ask me, all right, what we're right in that neighborhood of where Cliff High says all hell is going to break loose. I think it has to do with the deep state funding, the deep state involvement in Tether. Really interesting stuff. I'll get right to it. Silver got slammed down for whatever reason. It doesn't really matter. The price of $23 or $23.36 is not the price of silver. That's the price of a rigged derivative called a COMEX contract. There is no exchange for physical silver in the world. So the only pricing mechanism on an exchange is the COMEX. And that was set up on purpose. And the purpose of that was to control the price. You can't have silver being freely traded or the whole fiat monetary system implodes. We don't want that now, do we? So they let it go on. The COMEX is the most criminal organization. Gary Gensler used to head it when JP Morgan was rigging it for 8 years. And Bart Chilton told the world, the old CFTC commissioner told the world that they were rigging it. And Gary Gensler decided, a political decision, that he wouldn't stop JP Morgan from rigging the market. And now he comes out as the hero of the cryptocurrency, understanding cryptocurrencies, which he does. But the other problem, obviously, by the way, he was hiding on his calendar that he just met with Hillary Clinton and George Soros. And when you attach that to the decision not to bust JP Morgan for rigging silver for 8 years, being a political decision, that's all you really need to know about Gary Gensler, unfortunately. So right now, the only interesting thing in silver right now is that there's still 1,148 contracts hanging out there. Why aren't they delivering almost, what is that, almost 6 million ounces of silver? Why aren't they delivering it? It just costs them money if it's sitting in the warehouse. The obvious conclusion, it's not in the warehouse. So if they can't find 6 million ounces of silver, I think we got something really interesting coming up. But it's halfway through the month and they still haven't delivered it. They're paying insurance on it if it's in the warehouse. It's basically not in the warehouse. So they don't care. They'll probably wait to the end and then they'll try to pick it up somewhere at a cheaper price if they can slam the price of silver lower. I don't know, truthfully. And that information would be great to know for anybody. But the only people who do know that supposedly is the CFTC, and we all know it's a criminal organization. So here's what I think is going to go on. And here's the real interesting thing from here on out. For the next few days, it's going to get hotter and hotter. This FTX thing is not about Sam Bankman-Fried. It's not about FTX. It's really not even about Alameda. It's about the people behind the scenes. It's about Tether. How did FTX get $38 million worth of Tether without paying for it? No, they didn't pay anything for it. They were gifted $38 billion worth of Tether. B with a B, billion, $38 billion worth of Tether, so that they can run their scam, give all the real cryptos and cash back to the people at Tether, because Tether started this whole thing. And the people involved with Tether are, yes, Gary Gensler. Well, I don't know. You see, it's tough because Gary Gensler's boss, Glenn Ellison at MIT, is definitely involved with it. Now, Glenn Ellison is the father of Caroline Ellison. I'll get to that in a second. Anyway, there's hearings going on, but I love to see good old Karine Jean-Pierre dance and wiggle around questions. She was asked, is the president going to return the, $40 million? It was the largest donation to the Democrats. Is the president going to return it? She said, I can't answer that from the podium because of the Hatch Act. And then the reporter says, well, in your opinion, what does the president think should be done? I can't answer that because of the Hatch Act. They don't have $40 million. That's the thing. These are deep state actors. They can't get their hands on $40 million to give it back. And they're not real good at giving back money that they steal. What about the hundreds of billions, I think it's over 100 billion now, that we've given to the Ukraine that gets laundered through FTX and funneled back into the deep state? That is going on. And I just heard there's another couple $100 million that's going to the Ukraine again. What about that? So as all this comes out, it's like, oh my God, we're paying taxes to a government that does this stuff? Good luck getting any taxes out of people this year. So yeah, I love to see her dance, and it's pathetic. It is truly pathetic, and they have 99% of the people they call on are in on the con, so they're not going to ask a hard question ever. Remember that time Trump stood in front of all the reporters? Everybody was there, and they could ask any question. And he was fighting with all of them. Would you like to see Biden do that? That would be amazing. So the hearings are going on, and the hearings are a farce. The only thing good that came out of that hearing is one of the senators said, where did SEC or where did Alameda Research get $38 billion worth of Tether? How did they get $38 billion worth of Tether if they don't have any money? And they didn't have any money. They didn't pay anything for it. And there was no collateral traded for it as far as we know. Where did they get the $38 billion of Tether? It was a gift from the Deep State because the Deep State controlled FTX and Alameda. Why do you think all the Democrats are like, yeah, this is the one. We can regulate this one, and everybody else gets squeezed out. And Gary Gensler, 100%, is in the middle of this. Anyway, they for some reason, they bring this dude out, another anti-crypto dude, who's an actor, a guy named Ben McKenzie. And people said, I'm like, who's Ben McKenzie? People going, oh, he's just some crazy actor. I'm like, really? So I looked him up. Yep, he's an actor. Ben McKenzie, an American actor and commentator, best known for starring in television role as Ryan Atwood in the teen drama The OC. And crime drama Southland, James Gordon on the crime drama Gotham, Junebug, 88 Minutes, Goodbye. He's an actor. What makes him an expert on cryptos? He started. I was like, okay, what did he do? Did he get in the early days? Like, was he in 2009, 2010 in cryptos, and then saw some secret flaw? Here it is. Since 2021. Because he's been an outspoken critic of cryptocurrency. Huh? Why would we have someone who doesn't know dick about cryptocurrency testifying? Because he's just reading from his script. Since 2021. The guy hasn't been in cryptos for 2 years. That's insane. It takes 2 years just to understand it. One of the few celebrity skeptics. Oh my God. It's just so embarrassing. My government is so embarrassing. But this is good. Again, out of the hearings, the best thing that came of it was the world got to see what a farce the United States of America is. And the question was brought into public, $38 billion worth of Tether. Where did it come from and who paid for it? It came from the Tether Corporation. Who runs the Tether Corporation? The Deep State. And who paid for it? Nobody paid for it. It was just out of thin air. And the Tether data shows it. They only had 60 billion tethered printed. When FTX at Alameda did their little scam, they added 38 billion more. With no backing, zero backing. And then I saw this. This is just sick. SEC awards more than $20 million to a whistleblower. Oh, gee whiz, SEC. Gary Gensler, hey, Gary, you could have made $20 million. You knew that you helped set up this con. You knew what was going on. The Securities and Exchange Commission today announced an award of more than $20 million to a whistleblower who provided information and assistance that significantly contributed to a successful enforcement action. The whistleblower provided new information, met with the Enforcement Division staff multiple times, and remained cooperative throughout this investigation. A lot of people are saying it was Caroline Bankman-Fried or Caroline Ellison. But no, because they saw this. They saw a woman who looks like Caroline Ellison. It probably is. But we don't know when this picture was taken. Nobody does. We don't know anything about this picture. And everybody says, oh, Caroline, she's turning state's evidence against Alameda and Sam Bankman-Fried and FTX. It's bullshit. And then it came out that it was bullshit. It was the other guy, the co-CEO that left like 2 months earlier. And clearly he was working with the SEC before the implosion of FTX and Alameda. So the SEC knew. If I was like looking for information, I'd send them a FOIA. When did this whistleblower come to the SEC? Was it when this guy quit? This guy, Ryan Salame, the co-CEO? Was it when he quit? Did he go directly to the SEC? That means they knew months ahead of time it was a fraud. How many people invested in those months? How many people lost money because the SEC didn't blow the whistle until everybody already knew everything, and the SEC was last to go in. Or it might have been the CFTC's last. The two Tweedledee and Tweedledummer. FTX Bahamas co-CEO Ryan Salame blew the whistle on FTX and Sam Bankman-Fried. Court filings show Ryan Salame tipped off the Bahamian securities regulator, telling them that FTX was sending customer funds to Alameda. A high-ranking executive at FTX's Bahamian entity tipped off local regulators to potential fraud perpetrated at the cryptocurrency exchange just 2 days before the exchange was forced to close. According to Bohemian Records, Ryan Salame, the former CEO of Digital Markets, told the SEC of the Bahamas on November 9th that FTX was sending customers funds to its trading firm. Now, Salame left in August. Salame said the funds were to cover losses at Alameda and transfer was not allowed or consented to by the clients. This looks like another setup to me. If they don't say anything about Tether and the Deep State, it's just another setup. I wonder if he's an actor too, like good old Ben McKenzie. This is just, it's just sick what's going on in my country. And there's Caroline Ellison getting a cup of coffee. Year unknown, date unknown, location unknown. Nothing is known about this picture, but somebody threw it up there and said, "Oh, she's turning state evidence." Oh Lord, it's going to be ugly. We haven't really hit the kind of drama that would fulfill Testifies data. Now, there's a lot of things that could happen all of a sudden, and it's like a 3-day window or something. So we got basically sometime during this week, say a couple more days, for some real drama to start. If you're in cryptos, obviously the drama's already here, but it could be anything from wars to the children issue to everything. I think ultimately everything will come out and everything will start falling apart, and the bad guys will lose control. And the good guys everybody's going to lose control. So make sure you have your physical silver in your own possession. Cryptos in your own possession. Great time to buy cryptos, but don't expect to sell them for a couple of years probably until the bullshit shakes out and we start a new exchange. If you're looking for short-term money, buy silver. If you're looking to have a big leg up in the future, buy cryptos. But you got to pick the right ones. No DeFi cryptos. You should never, ever, ever have your money, your cryptos in somebody else's possession. I don't care how sound and secure. If you don't own the keys, you don't own your crypto. Period. And yes, you do own your keys if you have a Trezor or a Ledger. But somebody else holds your crypto. People are still asking me, "Oh, should I put this in this DeFi? I'll get 12% interest." I'm like, "Holy shit. I'll give you 12% interest and steal your money just like they're going to do." Money for nothing and your chicks for free. Dire Straits. Love that song. Anyway, more information, go to roadtoroot.com. If you want to subscribe to the private road, Jenny and I aren't going to be able to have a discussion today, but I'm going to put out something this weekend just for private road members on kind of the timeline thing. So go to roadtoroot.com, hit subscribe today, and with every subscription, we send you the coolest silver coin ever. I do think this coin will pay for the subscription. So go check that out at roadtoroot.com. This is Bix. I'll talk to you later.